the Fill the Funnel podcast with Jeff Swan
and Tom Slocum.
We're here to help you crush your targets
with tactical tips and insights you can act on today.
Don't have a fancy tech stack, a big budget, or even a huge team to lean on?
Well, it's time to get that solved today with FTF Fridays.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fill the Funnel Fridays with your hosts Jeff Swan and Tom Slocum. Today, going into the summer months, there's going to be a lot of people that are having trouble with getting their prospects' attention. I mean, how could you compete with boating and beach days and all those fun things? I'm just kidding. Of course you can. And how you do that is you got to get a little bit more aggressive and more creative with your tactics. Now, with that in mind, some people have a different version of what that aggressive and creative tactics look like, and they try really things that might piss off your customer, piss off your prospect, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about several tactics that people employ to get people's attention that may irk some the wrong way. So to kick things off, Tom, what is a very annoying but effective tactic you've used in the past?
I actually do the cold invite. So let me rephrase that, not cold invite necessarily, but I actually use this invite method. So I've shared it with RevLeague before, right? We've talked about it is, right now you get a lot of people pushing you off on email or on phone call, but They agree to a meeting in some sense. They say, yes, they want to chat, send over times, let's connect, right? Okay. Well, then what happens is they ghost you or it already took you 15 touches to get them to even pick up the phone and respond the first email. Now it's going to take you another 15 just to get the date and the actual meeting set, right?
Yeah.
So what I typically do is I'll give them a couple days. I try to reach out, do the normal channels, and then I got to get bullish, right? I got a job to do. You've already said your pain hurts enough that you want to talk about it, right? I've already known your problem. This is the first step is you actually got to know that they have a legit pain. If they don't have a pain, then it doesn't really work. But if they have a pain and you've qualified it, then what I typically do is I'll just send an invite at that point and say, book for one of the times that I had already given them. I'll try to go out a week or two to give them some time to talk through it if it doesn't work. And I say, hey, I've been trying to reach you. Wanted to shoot over an invite. I just sent you one for Thursday at 2:00. Hope we could chat then. If not, here's my calendar and find something that does work. Just wanted to remove the burden from you. I know you're busy. 9 out of 10 times, they accept the invite and they show up to the meeting and it goes fine. People just get busy. You can't take it personal. And then you got to try to remove that burden. So that's one of my methods. I don't try to do the cold email thing, the cold invite that much. However, I've done it. I'm not even going to try to hide it. Don't act like you don't. Everybody's done it a couple of times where you're just like, you know what? I'm going to send an invite. What did they talk about at the roundtable this week? Somebody did 50 of them. They sent out 50 cold calendar invites and they got 5 back. Yep. Right? Not bad. But it's weird. Go ahead.
On the other side now, another person did it. And actually the company did it on her behalf. And then she was the lucky person to get all the angry emails from all the people that she emailed.
It's a two-sided coin. Please proceed at your own risk. We're just trying to help you all be creative, find some methods that work. But this one is very touchy, especially on the cold side. If you've already engaged with them, they're just dragging their feet. It's a great thing to just go ahead and send an invite. Remove the burden from them. Just set something up that would work best for them, maybe an afternoon or a day. When did you call them? What time was that at? Maybe send an invite for that same time. And then just let them know you're trying to let the burden off. And then give your calendar and say, obviously look for something else. But here, 9 times out of 10, they easily just click yes. And then the day before the meeting, you remind them and they're showing up and having a good call. Cold, I'd say 1 out of 20. I would send 20 here and there where I've met somebody or I'm just not getting a hold of them. And what I mean by a cold invite is I'll send an invite and then an email. I don't just send a cold invite, first off. Right. Don't do that. Right. That's weird. But I send an invite and then I send a cold email. Hey, Jeff, Tom over at Milestone. I just shot you an invite for Thursday at 2:00 for about 30 minutes. Hoping we could connect and talk about X, Y, and Z. Let me know if that works for you. Never spoken to him. Haven't been able to get a hold of him before. And I do it that approach. And guess what? A couple times they accept. And they're like, hey, Tom, that works for me. I look forward to talking. And it works. Don't be an asshole, though, and be lazy and just send, to everybody in your book and just hope that you're going to find something. Actually qualify, do your job. But the email the cold invite and the warm invite does have a method that can work, or you're going to burn some people and they're going to hit you back with the bad responses. So know your audience, know where you're at in the cycle with your person, and be respectful about the approach. But it can, with that authoritative approach, you people will follow. They just want to be told what to do.
Yeah. And on that note, when you think about our two situations, so the two members of Rev League that had very different experiences from the same tactic, is that one was serving customers that were, I guess you could say, less tech savvy. The other was serving a customer that was very tech savvy. So when you're looking at it, people who understand these tactics and know what's going on, they're going to know what you're doing. They're going to consider it spam, and it's likely not to work as well as people that are looking at this type of technology as magic and they haven't seen it before. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. There's another thing, Tom, you mentioned that I really like, is that you give people an email at the same time as the cold invite, which is fantastic, because I'll tell you a little something that I learned by doing even just warm meetings, like meetings with me and you or whatever, right? What I learned was that a lot of people either don't see the description of your meeting at all, or they just don't read it. They don't pay attention. They just accept it and kind of move on, right? So what I used to do is I'd send people a description, like a detailed description, which was the message.
Copy in the email, right? To put your message in, or say, hey, I'm sending you this. I used to do that, and it never worked. For the
it just doesn't work.
You said. They don't read it. I don't even know half the time. Like, I just want the meeting invite in there, the link that I'm jumping on. I don't need a description. Send me an email and talk to me about what we're going to be talking about, what the meeting is. Just put an agenda. Like, that's what that space is for. It's just the agenda, what they can expect when that comes up on their calendar. But that's not your messaging. That's not how you get the meeting. That's just to clarify what to expect on that 30-minute call. That's not why they should accept your meeting. Use the message body cop. I did the other day. You saw what I posted in the chat the other day in our community. Was I did the quadruple tap with somebody, and it worked. So I had a prospect where I called, left voicemail, let them know that I was going to be sending them an email, and then I just sent them a voice memo on LinkedIn. I went ahead and just used my phone, and I dropped her a voice memo. Said, hey, I just shot you an invite. I've been trying to reach you. I know you're probably busy. Would love to connect. I shot you a voicemail as well, so you know it's me. I sent you an invite. Let me know if it works for you. Dude, within 10 minutes, she got back to me and accepted the invite, and I booked a meeting, right? And it was because I led with all that body of context in each message to let her know what was going on. And then I sent that warm invite or that blind invite. And then I let her a nice voice memo on LinkedIn. And she didn't even know about voice memos, which was cool. She was like, oh, this is so cool. And I was like, yeah, it's just a quick little voicemail drop. And she was like, yeah, it worked for me. I clicked and it played and I was good to go. So there's ways to do that warm invite, cold invite, but don't use the body of that invite for your messaging. Take the laziness out of it. Write another voice email. Do a video on their LinkedIn or drop them a voicemail or a voice memo. Let them know what you're doing. Be respectful. Hey, I just sent you a cold invite. I've even done that too. Jeff, I just sent you a cold invite. I haven't really been able to get a hold of you. I hope this day works for you. I just need 30 minutes to chat with you around this, and this that I found. If you got the time to spare, just hit the accept and I'll talk to you then. If not, here's my calendar. And it works just as much that they're like, hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I have that time that works for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, okay. So one of the things that we need to make notes, the episode is called Don't Be an Idiot. There's a good reason for this. And we're going to get into some examples in just a few minutes. But the one thing that we have to remember is that whatever you're doing, whether it's the cold emails or the cold invites or whatever you do, remember the reason why spam laws exist is because even though you have the technology and you can do something, doesn't mean you always mean you should. Right?
That's right.
So keep in mind, be mindful of spam complaints, regulations, all these other things. Just be mindful. Even if a tactic works, don't overuse it.
That's such a great point, and laziness, that's really a great point. Don't overexhaust it. These are last-ditch efforts in a sense, right? These are those bullish approaches where your prospects just are not moving along the way they should be. This isn't cold tactics. This isn't like straight up no engagement. Me and Jeff talk a lot about service over sales, the right mindset, really treating these people like humans. It's just like with your friend. You've tried to plan a trip together for 2 months. What ends up usually happening? Your friend hits you up one day and be like, dude, I bought the tickets. We're leaving on Friday. Pack your bags. And you're like, what the hell, dude? You're like, dude, I was sick of waiting for you. I bought them. We're on it. Like, we'll figure it out, but you're on the car. Let's go. Right?
Go tell your work.
So that's how you have to treat prospects sometimes is they're people. They're human beings. Don't take it personal, but also don't be a dick, right? Don't be sitting there blasting them. The tactic that I love to talk about is double tap, right? Like, let's go into that method. We can talk a little bit about that because this is one of those good ones, right? Tucker posted about this a while back, and it created an uproar in LinkedIn. Shout out Tucker, right? That he did the double tap. And, some people came to the comment section kind of being like, what the hell? It's rude. People think it's an emergency. And now you're trying to bait and start off on the wrong foot with a prospect, right? Because they're thinking it's an emergency. They're picking up just to be told a pitch slap, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, shit, I thought you were somebody. But honestly, proceed at your own risk. It is a good approach. I've had a rep that I've worked with for 5 years. She's a big fan of the double tap. I'm not going to lie. She teaches it to every SDR. She loves it. She gets meetings all the time. She even does the callback. This girl's so ballsy and bullish that when people disconnect, she has no problem picking up that phone again and calling them right back.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like we got disconnected. Just want to, and some people are terrified of doing that. I was one of them. When somebody hung up on me, I did not like calling back. I'll own it. I assume you at some point in your career, Jeff, didn't really like that approach either, right?
No.
It was weird, right? They hung up on you. You're not an idiot. You know they hung up. Don't be an idiot. You know they hung up, right? But she's bullish like that. She'll call them right back in a very gentle tone and own that convo and be like, look, I know we got disconnected or it looks like the line dropped. I'm so sorry about that. And then go right into her pitch again and talk for 5 more minutes and book a meeting. Yeah. But the double tap and that kind of callback approach of if they disconnect, call right back, it does work and it is effective. Yeah. But in a very respectful way. And sometimes the double tap isn't a bad thing. You're not misleading them. It's just, let me ask you, Jeff, do you answer every phone call at the first ring?
No.
You don't. But if you see it again, what's your gauge on? So let's bring a scenario for our listeners. You get a missed call or somebody calls you, it's 2021. You don't miss phone calls anymore. Everybody sees them, right? What is the next step for you that would justify a callback? What are you waiting for when that missed call comes through? What's the next thing you look for?
Well, the first thing I look for is this actually name display, right? If it's not a name, if it's just a random number that I don't know, if there's no name on it, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm probably going to ignore it because I'm in the middle of something, right? I'll check my voicemail if they leave one, but...
Damn, right there. Nope, that's it, right there. You check to wait for the voicemail. If it's an emergency, a voicemail will drop, right? Or if somebody has a clear message, that's my indicator on if that call was important. Now, if you don't leave me a voicemail, then it means it wasn't important. No. So, but if you double tap me and call again, then I might pick up. Hey, what's up? Like, it's a
my meter starts going is like, okay, this person's trying to get in touch. Why? What is my daughter? Is something going on with my daughter? Is something like, is there a fire?
You got to be sensitive, right? Because that's what some people came to the comments about is that's the approach they get. And you'll be offended if you pick up that phone again and it's Tom from Milestone pitching you. Yep. What are you going to do? You're immediately going to try to shut me off and be like, dude, I was just calling back because I thought this was important or a client. This isn't what I was expecting. Like, I got to go.
But right? Tom, let's be real though. Most people that pick up cold calls are offended. Off the top.
Period.
Like, it doesn't matter what you did, you interrupted their day, right? There's a thing in marketing called like interruptive advertising. Okay. There's interruptive advertising. That's the old school way. You're, on a bus, there's an interruptive thing in front of you. There's a sign right in front of you. There's a billboard. There's when you're in the washroom, there's things on the door, like all these things, or a YouTube ad, a video that pops up before your video, right? There's all these different types of interruptive advertising that they're cutting you off in the middle of what you're doing. That is the mode that most of businesses out there run these days. That's how companies make their money, is interruptive advertising. The fact of the matter is we're used to it. We're pissed off. We wish it wasn't there, but we're used to it. So,
dude, I was just watching something really funny about Pretty Woman, the whole theory about Pretty Woman with Sandra Bullock. That expensive stores like Gucci and all of them, their employees are specifically rude to you on purpose. Did you know that? It's a tactic. And they showed it in Pretty Woman because she went to a store and they treated her like dog crap. She came back a week later and bought the whole store to show them, right? Because F you for treating me like that. Like, don't do that. So that's how they do it in those stores. They purposely disvalue you to make you want to prove your value by buying shit from their store. By like, don't judge me. I can afford this stuff. Here's 2 purses for $30,000. What's up?
Totally.
You know? So,
and just for the purists out there, it's Julia Roberts, because you're going to get in trouble if you stick with Sandra Bullock. Just so you know.
No, I'm so sorry. Julia Roberts. There we go.
The lesson stand. You know you're going to get more hate for calling Julia Roberts Sandra Bullock than anything else we can say on this show.
LinkedIn's going to blow up, dude. I'm going to get fired.
So,
all right.
No, that's it.
Julia Roberts, right? So we have to do that same mentality. That's one of my other favorite bullish moments. Take away from your prospects, dequalify them, and make them want to work with you. When they're offended, and you double tap and they answer like, oh, I thought this was something. I mean, hit them back and be like, well, I was calling because I thought you were trying to solve your problem. I see a problem on your site right now that I was trying to reach out to you for that's pretty urgent. You're losing site traffic. I thought it was on your priority list. My apologies. I'll give you a call back. Well, wait a minute, Tom. What do you mean you saw something on my site? Aha. Yeah, well, and then you just go right into a 10-minute conversation, right? You take away from them and be like, oh, you're not worth my time. And that's what SDRs don't realize, is that they degrade themselves so much that they feel like, dude, you got to act the part. You do this shit every day. You're talking to 20 customers a day. Your book of business is busy. The other bullish tactic is don't let them know your calendar's that accessible. Oh, you know, Thursday at 2:00 doesn't work for me. I got a couple other meetings. But you know what? For you, Jeff, I'll move it by 30 minutes. It's not that relevant. You're more important, and I'll get you in at 2. Does that work? Then the person says, oh, don't do that. I could do 4 at Thursday. And you get your meeting when that was a clear open spot in your calendar. I always learned that early on in sales. Act the part. Pretend you're running a whole Fortune 500 company. They don't know. If you're new at SDR at this right now, don't act like it. Or if you want to, lean into it. Hey, it's my first day. I fumbled. People will appreciate it, but honestly, act the part. Pretend you've been doing this all the time. Act the part, and people, be bullish with them. Lead them. They want to be led, and there are some tactics. So taking away from today, if I can wrap this up as we finish up here, be willing to be ballsy with some of these people. They want it, but in a very respectful way. Service over sales. Be a service to them. Take the burden off of them and approach with a curiosity mindset that you're just trying to help them. Not a dick of like, give me this meeting, take this cold invite. That's not what we need to do.
So 100%. Now, everything that we're talking about here, again, it's aggressive tactics, and we do have to be aggressive. And sometimes your prospect is out there thinking one thing that is doing them a disservice. So your job here is to help them understand something that's different, is going to help them achieve their goals, not hurt them. So try these tactics if you wish, but do it with tact and don't be an idiot. Okay. So all that said, enjoy, have a great week, and happy hunting. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fill the Funnel podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite platform, give us reviews, and tell all your friends about us. Till next time, happy hunting.